Welcome to the Think Loud crew. We are three mamas just trying to get our shit together. We struggle with our intro, but here we are. My name is R.
And I am Shannon.
I'm Cheyenne. That was interesting. Are you okay?
No, today's been really overwhelming.
Did you say get our shit together?
Right.
Well, just like life be life, and for all of us in so many ways.
What's going on, Kyle? You look like you need to talk.
What's up, homie?
Oh my god.
That's how you look.
No, it's just been like a long couple of days.
Well, first let's talk about your birthday.
Right.
How was your birthday?
Oh, I had a lovely birthday.
I'm sorry I missed. I felt like a horrible
Yeah,
friend.
where were you?
Shannon,
Life was lifing
that's what I said.
as well.
We
Like
just
I
get our shit
really, got parked in the shower. I'm like, we're gonna go see Auntie Kyle, and then just.
I received a very sad voice note.
Wait, I definitely.
But it was also like, girl, I know
thought
there's
about it the next day.
so much
No,
going
I,
on. Stay home.
I voice noted her. I was like, hey, if I don't make it out the door, I apologize. I love you, and I'm, like.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. And she sent me a voice note. She was like, girl, I get it. I love you. Whatever happens, happens.
And I saw her like
the day before. I tried to celebrate this girl.
Shannon brought me flowers. She brought me these. Where were those little bundt cakes from?
From Nothing But Bun Cakes.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Good?
I have never been to Nothing But Bundt Cake, but if there is a Nothing But Bundt Cake near you, go search it. It was
Is it
so
bunt
good.
or bun?
Bunt.
With a T.
Yes.
Bunt.
Like a little mini bundt cake.
I bought her two. I didn't know what flavor to choose for her.
I got confetti and snickerdoodle, and they were both good. They were so
Why are you looking at me
yummy.
like that?
I had no
No,
idea.
but I wanted to make sure she felt special.
I got
for
flowers and I got
Kyle's
balloons.
so pretty, Shannon.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
I was just happy.
Oh, I'm happy I made you. I could give you that, not offer you, but give you that.
It was good. But those
But
bun
how was
cakes
your
were
birthday?
good.
What?
It was nice. I always get really bad anxiety around my birthday. So like I hate planning stuff for my birthday. Like the fact when people are like, what do you want to do? It's just always very overwhelming for me. So nothing, well, what was it? The morning of, it was like very spontaneous. Like, okay, we'll just have people over. And it was really nice. It was good. My mom cooked. My friends came over. My family came over. At one point, it was funny. A lot of people gifted me weed.
We love that
and
for
it was,
you.
as I was like getting all this stuff, I was like, actually, I was thinking about like to stop smoking for a while. And everyone literally in unison, everyone was like, oh, what a horrible idea. Like,
Everyone's like, why?
Like, why would you do that? Like, one of my friends was like, literally in the climate of the world, like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, you're okay. So then, yeah, I was like, okay.
I'm like, just kidding.
Yeah, so then I proceeded to like indulge the rest of the night. It was great. But yeah, I had a nice birthday.
Did you have birthday sex? I know last episode you
No,
talked about
I did
birthday
not.
sex.
Wait, what did I miss?
I was
She was like, I want birthday
I wanted some
sex.
birthday sex.
She wanted something
In the
freaky.
manifesting episode, you guys were
Yes.
manifesting birthday sex?
She was.
Well, yeah, I mentioned it because I haven't really had like
Oh.
there's been no birthday
I think I need
sex.
to tune in.
There's been like well, first of all, Shannon was like, what is birthday sex?
Right.
Isn't it sex on your birthday?
Yeah, but it's like
what I was asking was like, what does birthday sex mean to you? Is it like different type of sex? Like, what are you?
Wait, I'm so lost. I thought that birthday sex was just having sex on your actual birthday. There's a different meaning?
in my world.
That's
So
what
what
I was
is
asking.
it? What does birthday sex mean?
I don't
to
know.
you?
Like, flip me over a little bit. Like, there's this, like...
Oh, like
it's
fun sex.
sex.
But
Yes.
is it on your birthday or not?
Well, at this point, it doesn't have to be on my birthday because it hasn't been on my birthday in, like, a very long time.
Okay.
Therefore...
I'm like...
This is going to be like... Well, anyways, I'm not having birthday sex. I'm not having sex.
Because
I was
it's not
confused, like
on
you.
your birthday anymore. So now
Well,
it
in
would
general,
just be fun sex.
I'm not having fun sex anyways, so... I'm not having sex right now.
Because you don't have someone to have sex with, or because you don't want to have
Or is it
sex?
by choice?
Well, one, it's by choice.
Okay.
Like I've had offers.
Are we
Like,
happy with
But
their choice?
I don't want to. No, I want to like I miss intimacy in my life, and like I feel like, oh my god, I sound like I'm about to start crying.
I thought you were about to start crying and be like, I want to have
sex. I need it really bad. I just need to get spanked one really good time.
Oh.
I have a paddle at the house.
Not by my sister.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I just know it's like
I can help you.
it's so
Can I get a
crazy.
few toys?
Where it's like I have children, but I feel like I am like so touch starved, or like I've like that intimacy has been missing from my life, and I think it's just one of those like moments where you're settled in as like a single parent. You're like, this shit is actually like.
So why don't you take one of the offers that's been given? Those aren't people you would want to have sex with.
They're not fun.
You don't want them to spank you.
You don't want them to flip you around.
I mean, one of them maybe.
I'm dead.
But like I'm at that point in my life where it's like I don't want to just have casual sex.
Maybe you just need to get laid.
I think I just need to get like
Fucked.
But
Real.
at the same time, like I don't know. I've got so many issues when it comes to like laying with someone now, and I feel like I've experienced so many like traumas in the sex department in the last like I don't know years where I'm like. I'm on that fence where it's like I could either really just be hardcore celibate, and that sounds so depressing for me and myself.
That does.
Or you can just go get some.
I can go get some, but then it's like afterwards I'll be like, okay, cool, I got some, but like
Now what?
now what?
That didn't fulfill
That
you.
doesn't. That's not fulfilling. So it's like I actually appreciate like companionship, like that intimacy where it's like, you know, I'm with you or I'm having this moment with you because like. I want to give it to you, or it's like you gonna give it to me. Like
I think you need to get like really, really drunk, go out,
and that's the
have a
other thing.
one-night stand.
Yeah. See, I don't
Just let it
drink.
all
Let
out.
it rip.
Just let it all out. I think you just
And be
need
like,
to do
"Peace
one
out, homie."
night. Yeah, but use protection because you can get pregnant.
And that's the other thing. I have.
You can't get
I'm fertile myrtle. I have like sex anxiety to where it's like I can't even like fully relax because I'm scared I'm going to get pregnant.
Well, if you have a
protection.
condom,
Yeah,
you
but then
can't
I
have
have
that
a
fear.
condom on, and I'm the whole time I'm like,
is it gonna break?
one, is it gonna
Or
break?
does it not-
And two, like, is this over? Because now I'm bored.
Well, then use a
So-
lot of lube, and then
No, it's not the
You'll be
lube. The wetness
fine.
is not the issue. It's like
You just don't like the
You don't
mental
like the
thought of a
condom?
condom.
I'd rather not have sex. So that's why I'm like,
so you
Oh
want
my
it raw.
god, this is not. This is terrible.
yeah. So that's why I'm like,
This
I
is
just
terrible.
So you just like it raw, like raw
guys.
sex is
Know
just
what
the
happened?
only way
Know
to
what it
do
is? Because I had sex with a condom, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go home, and I don't need to have sex.
What?
Maybe it was the wrong kind
Condom?
of condom.
Maybe it was the wrong type
Yeah.
of penis.
Maybe it was just the wrong dick.
Maybe it was just the wrong.
Condoms are not a bad thing.
No,
Oh,
they're
I
not.
think I'm not saying that they are. Maybe it was the wrong.
Maybe it was just the wrong
Yeah.
penis.
I'm gonna say that
Maybe
was
you
a
guys a
terrible
bad dick.
experience for you.
Yeah,
I think
so
that-
that's why I'm like, at this point, sex to me is just like, there's like a little bit of like trauma that like lingers with it. I don't know, it's like
Condoms
anxiety.
again with somebody you might like.
Gosh, yeah.
I think you have a lot of like built up frustration.
I need to get fucked. That's what the issue is.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
Shannon, how about you? How are you doing? Now that we've covered Kyle, how are you doing, Shannon?
Wait, but real quick question before we do that.
Yeah.
I have a friend who was talking about, like, you know, when they're dating, how, like, you know, there'll be sex with multiple people. I can't have sex with, like, more than one person within, like, month spans either. Like, that's, like, something I just mentally can't do.
So are you
you
already
can't just
in
go
your
around.
month span?
No, like,
I'm dead.
I'm just asking.
no, she's asking.
I know.
And I mean that. I appreciate that because I'm like, if I do, when I do have sex, it's like
I can't do it till November.
my clock.
I can't.
There's like
I already
a-
had sex with one person. You
Yeah, I'm not trying to
You're
like.
limited just one person a month.
No, not even a month. Like,
Oh.
I think in this past year, it's been like 2 people, 3 people.
Okay.
The third just added. So I'm like, that's like
They're just added.
the third just added not too long ago.
They're just added. So you're kind of like getting close right now. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
With the people
With
limit.
the fourth. The third wasn't a good candidate.
I don't think I want a fourth in this year.
I'm just saying, why can't you go back to the last person? Was it not good?
Oh shit.
I don't want to say it wasn't good.
Okay.
It just wasn't for you.
No. I had another issue with that person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, I feel like this is so fun.
Was it Tractor Man?
No. Tractor Man's been... please do not call that name out.
She got
Please.
she got really scared.
Right.
She said, please do not call that name.
Okay. Please.
Okay, well, besides the sex stuff,
How's life?
how's
Life
date
is
like
good.
is dating? What is going on with your dating right
Guys,
now?
I'm not dating. Like, I had to pause on everything.
Someone asked me the other day in a DM, "How's Kyle's roster doing?"
Yeah,
I
saw
don't
that
have
too,
a
and
roster.
You don't have a roster.
No, like,
anymore?
I'm a single mom. I'm a single parent out here. My life consists of, like, feeding my kids, figuring my life out, and,
But it
like,
doesn't have to just be that. Sorry to cut you off, but it doesn't have to just be.
well, that's what it is right now. Like, I don't have the
So
capacity.
the roster went away.
I didn't really have a roster to begin
Girl,
with.
we had this topic last
I
time,
have, like,
Kyle,
admirers,
and we
but they're-
realized that you
had
had
a
a roster. Like, accept that you had a full roster.
There is a difference between having a, like, active roster or a roster and admirers. So, like,
That are
So,
active.
You had a
Admirers that
roster.
are active.
I don't know. I don't have time for all that stuff right now. So it's like my focus isn't like, oh, here's this roster or like on dating. My focus lately has been like on my school stuff. I'm in 3 different classes right now and I'm trying to get that shit done. And it's like I don't even have the time or capacity to entertain. Yeah. And at this point, the other day somebody asked me out on a date and I was like, if you want to take me out on a date, this is what it is.
What
like,
does that mean?
Even like to go out on a date, it's like sometimes I think people forget like I'm a single parent, so it's like I have to figure out arrangements for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have to plan ahead of time. Then it's like my closet right now is mom closet. Like it's not
So you need an outfit.
date night. So I'm like, you got to. This is what it is. And
What it is, as in, like, you want them to pay for childcare and to buy you an
yeah,
outfit?
you need to make sure if you're gonna date and this is like serious, like these are things you have to take into consideration. And before, like I used to like be like or say those things, but then I'd be like, oh, maybe I'm just being crazy or like expecting too much or asking too much. And some people would entertain it, and some people wouldn't.
I feel like that's such a real topic or conversation
is.
to have. I wonder if, and this is me genuinely asking, like, the audience, do you guys think if you're a single parent or mom and you're dating, that your date should cover childcare?
I think, I mean, they should consider, like, maybe consider. It would be an amazing gesture. I don't think necessarily paying for the whole thing or, like, maybe, but I feel like they need to realize that, hey, a week in advance, not just the night of, like, hey, can you come out? And expect you to have childcare or think because of your situation, you have a babysitter on call.
At this point,
You want that shit paid for.
Right. I need
Kyle's
all
like,
the
I
motivation. I need all the
and inspiration to get up out my house, you know, or to get away from my kids. Because one, I like my kids. Like, I love doing activities with them. Like, there's times where it'd be like, oh man, do I really want to sit here and have to like go shop, do all this stuff, get all ready, and like that's like a whole production. So it's like, for me, that is a job. If you want me to do this and be all this person and be away from my kids and have to like figure out all this stuff, which is not easy because I don't have a nanny, I don't have a regular sitter, like I don't trust people with my kids. So it's like,
I feel it.
it's a lot. So at this point, if you want me to go through all that commotion and like that process, this is what it is. And it's and if you're not on the same
How do
page,
people respond to that?
then we're not on the same, then we're not compatible, or you're not the type of man that I would want in my life.
Correct.
Yes.
And realize your situation, realize
Have you told someone this? Like, how do people respond?
I told someone recently and they said, sounds good. I'll let you know when I can peel it off. Like, I'll let you know when I can do that. And I'm okay. No hurt feelings. And that way I don't waste my time, and you see, I value my time and my time of my children. I take being a mom very important. Like, that's very important to me. Like, that's my priority.
I do think there's a difference in what you're saying and what Shannon's saying, though. What? Like, the difference of you just saying, yeah, they should be considerate and understanding of, like, your time and to give you time to make accommodations, versus you're saying, I want time to consider it and I want you to pay for it.
It also depends on the person. Like, if I rock with you, like, I'm about to just ask my mom to watch my kids and I'll go out with you, you know? But it's like, if it's like a new situation, I pick and choose. I get,
You're trying to...
It's a sliding scale over here. I don't know why.
You're all over the place.
I really am. Depends on how I feel. Depends on my mood.
You're making my head hurt, and I'm not even trying to date you.
Exactly. I literally give disclaimers. When guys are like approaching, I'm like, are you sure you want this? Because...
I really want to know what people think about this, because I feel like there's some people who might agree with you, and there's some people who would say no.
And I asked another mom recently, and she said she was like, my aunt used to have that mentality, and it really helped her decipher like who was serious and who wasn't.
Well, yeah, you can see who would want to pay.
Yeah, and
but
she's
what if it's the first date?
Yeah, like you're gonna
first date, like, let me go see if I even want to hang out with you, talk to you. Like,
you can't expect like your first date.
No, first date, no. But it's like,
I'm thinking over here. If we're like, maybe later on
building
in the relationship,
and it's like you want to start like really like taking my time, then we're gonna have to have these conversations evolve. But it's not like, oh, let me take you out, and it's like, blah 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 blah.
That's like those videos you see on like
unless I just straight up don't know you and I'm like, well, this is what it is. Like,
see, you keep flip flopping, which is confusing.
Because I'm confused over here. Okay. My brain hurts too. Because I thought you were saying like first date,
you need to handle.
You need to pay for childcare. You have to consider all these things. But like in my head, maybe down the line, I would understand. Hey, if we're like months down, hey, if we're gonna keep doing this tonight, I can't get a sitter, can you help me look for one? Or like that kind of thing, like maybe we can pay for one together.
I don't know, I like my unrealistic reality sometimes.
Hey girl,
because it's like
that's what it is a little bit.
I know, and I know sometimes
you can't hit a first date with,
I'm not saying that this is the first date conversation, like I don't. First date, do I even want to be around you? Like, what is our chemistry like? Do I like the way you smell? Do I like the way you, like, you know, let me get to know you first. Then it's like, oh, if we're dating, like, if it's just like, oh, hey, let me take you out, let me see if this is something I'm interested in, that's one thing. But it's like, hey, I want to actually, like, date, and, like, this is what we're doing. There's another conversation. These are the factors that you need to take into consideration.
Have you ever hit a first date with that conversation?
Yeah, and they paid for my childcare.
Oh.
They sent me $200 to pay for my childcare and to feed my kids.
Okay, I don't know why, but this is like those videos that you see on like World Star when it's like the single mom that goes out to dinner with the guy, and then the guy is sitting there and he's like, and the single mom is sitting there with the two kids, and he was like, you want me to pay for them too? Right. And the mom was sitting there like, yeah, I do. And then there was one other video where this guy was out with a girl, and she had ordered like 2 steaks to go, and she's like, "These are for my kids at home."
See, my kid doesn't eat steak, so I'm not doing all that.
I feel like this is what I'm thinking in my head.
But it's also, I'm a parent. Like, the type of man that I date now, you have to understand and respect. I'm a parent. You're not just dating me. I'm not saying you're dating my kids, but it's like you have to be respectful of like my whole situation. Like,
I think me personally, I would do things differently, but I do agree that I do think it would be a nice gesture down the line if they came up with it, not me.
Serious.
Right, if it's serious and it's like, hey, we've been dating a lot. I know you have your kids. How much is it when we go on these dates? Let me handle the next few days of childcare. For myself, if I was dating right now, later down the line, if my man suggested that, then I would appreciate that gesture
Yes.
more than if I told them this is what I need from you. But I guess I'm just different. I feel like that says a lot about a guy to me,
To consider
the time and my kids and my money that it's taking and like all those things. But I mean, dating nowadays, I feel like is just
all over the
place, and everyone is all over the place within dating. Like, at least from the people that I have in my life that are single that are dating, it just seems like unless this is somebody like you met from like a long time ago or something, or someone that you've been dating for a while, the dating pool right now, it just seems like it's just like
It is.
It's
like the meme with the little boy in the wind. Like,
no, that's why at this point it's like these are my boundaries, because there's a lot of predators out there. There's a lot of weirdos. There's a lot. Like, it's scary out there. That's why I'm like, at this point, like, there is no, let me just go have some casual sex. It's like, if I'm going to have sex with someone, it's like, I'm not trying to go in my closet to like be like, you know, like visit the past or like.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Not the closet.
Shannon, what's going on with you in dating?
I'm scared.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do we have an announcement to make?
Yeah.
I wish.
Oh.
I'm dating, and it's been for like 6 months now.
Ooh.
Around
Cool.
6 months. And I feel like it's gotten to, like, you know how the beginning of relationships, like, you're still like, yay!
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon, and we're still in honeymoon, but I feel like the way I love is super deep, as you guys probably know. And, like, I get really invested, and I feel like I'm starting to realize and, like, think to myself, like, am I too aggressive sometimes in my relationships? Like, or how I love? But I don't know. Either way, we're amazing.
Has he ever expressed that he felt like you were aggressive?
He has never said I felt as aggressive, but he was like, at the beginning, it was so easy. Like, just easy with us. And he's like, sometimes I feel like it gets a little stressful. And I'm like, in my space of life right now, like, I don't want anything to be stressful for anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I already know that everyone has their own things that they're taking on. And, like, with me and dating, like, I just want to be, like, a light in your life. Like, I want to be this, you know, just a bright light in your space.
Shannon.
Yeah. So I feel like we actually talked about this morning, like, and I was like, no, I don't want to be that. So let's, like, backtrack, let's chill, and, like, rework whatever is feeling stressful within our relationship. So that's where I'm at, but, like, I'm super happy. He's a light in my life. He literally lights me up every time I talk about him. So yeah.
Have you guys had like a disagreement or like a moment where it's like you've had to, like, I guess you're just saying, you're just saying it now, like, work through things where it's like,
we've been through a lot of, like, we've been through a couple humps, which were a lot of, like, kind of tough humps, just with, like, dynamics and figuring that out. And so, like, both of us even thinking, like, hey, you know, does this work for us? Is it gonna work out in the long run? Just dealing with different dynamics is hard as well, especially if you both have kids.
I was just about to ask if you had kids.
Yeah, so he has kids and I have a son, and so it works out with him understanding my schedule and understanding babysitting. So he for sure considers, like, my time and, like, hey, this is me asking, you know, what's up. But it's just, like, dynamics with kids and, like,
time,
and then also, like, just with that, all that comes with, which is, like, you know, he hears a lot about, like, my situation with Robert, and then I hear about his situation with his BM. So it's just a lot of just different things back and forth, and just really considering each other's and each other. I said that weird. And then but I feel like
Is he the first guy you've dated that also has kids?
Yes.
Is it difficult or is it easier?
I feel like a part of it's a little difficult because I've crossed things that I never crossed before. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like it's easy in aspects as him understanding, like, me being a single mother and him coming from a single mother. So he understands that whole that dynamic. And then he understands that things can cut off right away. Like, if I can't go on our date or, like, accommodating things. Like, one night he really, really wanted to make dinner for me. And we had this whole thing planned. He was going to come over, cook for me, and we were just going to chill, smoke, and, like, drink. And then it ended up we couldn't do that because Parker didn't have a babysitter. He was like, you know what? I'll cook at my place, and I'll still come over. Just let me know when Parker's asleep, and then we can still sit, watch movie, and eat. And
I like that.
So he literally made, and I told him what I wanted to eat, and he literally made everything, brought it over.
So what do you want to eat?
Shanan was so happy.
I
loved it.
Shanan was so happy.
It was the cutest night because he was like, no, I'm not gonna not do it. He's like, just let me know when Parker's asleep. Like, I'll respect it. I'll be quiet. Like, you know, whatever that means. So I told him I wanted, he brags about him making fettuccine Alfredo. So he made fettuccine Alfredo with chicken, and he bought garlic bread, and, like, had it all set, and he even brought extras so I could have it for the rest of the week.
Aww.
I was like, I love you.
Shanan, this is where you're probably sitting there just in love.
Yes.
And this is what he's talking about. Like, damn, she really loved me off this fettuccine.
Yes. And he knows how I love. So he knows that, like, the little things that he does that, like, he knows those things get me, like, going.
Yeah.
And he likes that. He loves that I'm like that. But I guess that sometimes, like, when
it's a lot.
It gets a lot, you know, and I understand that. And I understand, you know. But yeah, those little things, like, brighten me up. And we've been having fun, like, just having the best time.
I think that's really cute, but also really nice. Like, it didn't work this way, and I feel like there's some guys who would just be like, all right, well, another time.
I'll see you later.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think his suggestion of, like, let's wait for Parker to go to sleep and we can still do our date night. It's just a different time of the day. I think that's awesome.
It was really nice.
It seems like he has, like, a lot of compassion and empathy for your position and, like, just the world that you're figuring out for you and your son, which I really appreciate and love for you. So, yeah, I'm happy that things are still going well.
They're still going well.
So do you think this is someone that you could see yourself with long term?
In my heart, I hope so. But like I said, there's other, like, little factors that are hard. That he's still, you know, we're working out and understanding. And I totally get that. And I feel like I'm in a place where I'm willing to wait a certain amount of time. To figure it out because I adore him. And I know we adore each other. So it's, that was cute.
Yeah. The way you just smiled and lit up. Like, I could feel the energy, like, coming off of you.
We literally adore each other, and I just pray on it all the time. Like, he was able to figure out what he needs to figure out, and then I get to figure out what I need to figure out. And I know that takes time. So I know that sometimes, you know, if you need to take a break for a while, love always comes back. I know you know that. So, I hope it plays out well because he sees me for, like, me. Yeah. And he sees, like, the hard work that I put in to, like, even little things for him. When I do things for him, he's like, why wouldn't I go hard and do those little things for you?
I love that.
Because he's always like, you're a queen. He's like, you need to be put on that pedestal. So
I think that's great. I've always said that you needed to be with a nice guy. Like, a really overwhelmingly nice guy. Yeah. Like, the type that I would find extremely annoying. I want that for you.
I want a nice guy.
You too, Kyle.
But I also want a guy, like, I think...
Kyle, your nice guy is coming.
I want a nice man so bad.
He will come.
Because these selfish narcissists, y'all.
are
Ain't
not
it?
it. How has your life been, Shy? I feel like you've been super busy, but
Yes, y'all have been on the
On a
Davis
move.
World Tour right now.
Yeah, it's crazy that this month we'll be married for a year.
How does it feel?
what are you guys gonna do? Oh my God, that's coming up.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's around the corner.
September 29th, it'll be a year, which feels unreal because it's like, I feel like we just got married.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like we've been married for a year. But then again, like,
You guys have been together for
we've been
a
together
while.
for a long time, so it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, cool. But I don't know, it's exciting. Everyone always says like the first year is the hardest, and it wasn't that bad. Like, I don't know.
wasn't hard for
wasn't.
you?
I feel like every relationship you have hard moments and you have hard days and you have hard weeks and you know, all these things, and I feel like overall I would say we've had a good year. The only thing that I think a lot of people always ask us, like, they're like, oh, you guys are newlyweds, like, how's newlywed bliss? And we're looking at each other like, what's that? Like,
What does that mean?
what does that mean? And we're like, should we have been in a honeymoon phase this year? But we weren't necessarily. We got married and we moved maybe within like 2 weeks, and then we were right back at work. So
Do you think you didn't have that honeymoon bliss because you guys were together or have known each other for so long? Or is it supposed to be like this different,
I don't
like,
know.
marriage
I have
bliss?
no idea. And that's the part where we're kind of like, did we
skip skip?
did we miss that honeymoon bliss moment or something?
How do we get this back?
Right. But what we talk about now is like we do a terrible job of like dating. Like we don't do a good job of like setting a date night. We talk about it, and then
Do you think just with each other?
right, without the kids,
Or
because
like other friends or other...
just with each other.
What
We
about,
do
like,
a
a-
lot of like group activities,
Yeah.
but we don't necessarily just do something with the two of us. So we talked about it for a while, and then we scheduled one with my mom because we have Isabel who helps us with ACE.
Yeah.
But that's Monday through Thursday, and then it's like during working time. It's 8 to 5. So it's like that's the time that we have to get the most done.
things done.
And that's the time that Zach has to get the most done. And then after that, then it's 5 o'clock. It's like go time with all of Ryder's activities and Ace does classes. So we don't go on dates during the week. And then on the weekend, when Ryder's at her dad's, we have Ace. And we live probably like 40 minutes, sometimes an hour from my mom's house.
Yeah.
So we just stay home with Ace, or we'll take Ace to the park or something. But we realized, like, we don't go on dates. So we asked my mom, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, to watch the kids. And we went to the movies. And we were so excited to, like, go to the movies with each other and to see, like, an actual adult film and not, like, a kid film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Zach, when's the last time we've been on a date and we couldn't remember?
Y'all, their date
sad.
got me a date.
What?
Yeah. Crazy story. Cheyenne and Zach
what?
went to the movies, had date night, and they had such a great time. And I guess they raved about this movie.
Oh, yeah, we
Which
did.
then my mom and Dave went to go see. And then they were like, my mom was like, I'll take the kids anytime this week. I want you to go on a date and go to the movies.
What movie did you guys see?
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Zach loved the movie and he was so happy, and we got a drink, we went to the movies.
I love
and it was great, but I was like, we have to do better at still dating each other because we do a terrible job at it. I'm so, like, on a schedule, and, like, this is Ryder's schedule, this is A's schedule, this is my schedule, this is Zach's schedule. Like, Zach will be out with friends, and his friend will be like, Zach, do you want to go golfing Thursday this time? And Zach looks at me, and he's like,
Where am I?
what do I do on Thursday? Like, can I go golfing on Thursday? And I have his schedule right now. So
Can
I'm
I play
like,
mom?
yes or no, you know, if he can go. And I'm like, we do really good at that. You okay?
Zaya would like to say something really fast.
We do really good at the schedule of work and kids and making sure the kids are well taken care of, but we don't do a good job of dating each other
And taking
and
care of
taking
each other.
Yeah. And then by the end of the night, some nights, you know, we're both tired.
We're exhausted.
Like, we just ran everybody around all day, and like some days Ryder has 3 things after school or 8, and then we're juggling Ace, and then it's just like we're exhausted. So we keep telling ourselves, like, going into this next year of marriage, we figured out the logistics behind a lot of things that we were working on this year. Like, we wanted to get married. We did that. We wanted to get out of, like, the neighborhood we were in. We did that. We wanted to get a house. We did that. We wanted Ryder to go to the school. We figured that out. We wanted Ace to do this. Like, we figured out the logistics of it. We wanted all Zach's legal stuff to be done. We wanted our court stuff to be done. Like, all these things are now done. So...
you got things done.
And now it's like, okay, let's sit and enjoy what we've done.
I feel like this was a year of like there were a lot of things on your list that you're mentioning. So I pray that in this next season or this next year of your marriage, now that those things are like over, and there were some really, really huge gray clouds lingering.
Yeah.
Now that those things are like passing, that you guys can take the time and just
like be happy,
enjoy
that we're
each
just
other.
married.
In a different light.
We didn't get that this year, which sounds weird to say, because I feel like your first year of marriage is supposed to be like you're fucking skipping in flower patches, and we weren't necessarily. Which isn't a bad thing, because I feel like we're both still really young and our overhead is really high. And that means we're still on, like, grind mode. Like, I don't ever mind the work aspect of it, but I'm also, like, I don't want to lose who we are as individuals, plus as a couple, just to make money.
Yeah.
And
that's real shy,
That's super
hard.
raw. Yeah, I agree with that.
So... I don't know, but overall, I think that we had a good year, and like every now and then we look at each other and we're like, we did it. Like,
out of your ears is out,
like we had a lot against us, and like even our therapist was like, for what you guys have gone through, people break up over this in a second. Like, people do not last through this, so you have something to hold on to, like whatever it is. So that always makes me feel better.
You guys, I will say, you guys are a force to be reckoned with. Like, you guys are an amazing couple, and like the way you guys have each other's backs and like there for one another is really is really inspiring. Like, I really look up to you and Zach as a married couple, and like the way you guys just move is just, it's amazing to be in the seat and like to watch.
Thanks,
I agree.
Like, seriously,
agree.
I always like when I think of when I'm with someone, I'm like, oh, I would want my relationship to look similar to yours. Like, even I know it's not always perfect, but I know, like, oh,
in terms of that
like
bond,
that
bond,
bond.
you guys love
that
each other.
loyalty.
Our like bond with each other is something that, like, I don't know. It's just like weird. I don't know. I love him. Why am I gonna cry?
Oh no!
Because it's real. I cry because I don't have it. You cry because you've got it, and it feels
like,
good.
know,
Enjoy your cry. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's hard. It's hard making connections with people. I feel in this world that truly, like, one, are there for you, have your back, allow you the space to grow, allow you the space to like mess up and like come back and like love you through all of it.
Really love your kids. So we went to New York for Fashion Week for Ryder, and Ryder walked her first walk, and I look over at Zach and he's sobbing. I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, this is too much for me to handle. And me and Corey are looking at Zach crying, and Corey's like, for once it's not me, it's you. And
Zach always makes fun of you for crying for everything.
Zach always makes fun of me because I cry for everything. We dropped Ryder off to the show, and like they asked like parents not to stay.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I just want to walk her in and meet who her handler is, because every kid had one person with them. So I'm like, let me just meet her person, and then I promise we can go. And Zach was like, okay. So we dropped her off, and Ryder was like, within 5 seconds, okay, I'm comfortable, you guys can go now. And I was like walking away, and it was like the Titanic. Like, I felt like my arm was reaching out for her, and there was sad music playing in the background. And we get up the stairs, and Zach goes, are you about to cry? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I was so irritated with him because I cried everything. It's just, it is what it is. And so at the show, I already told myself, you can't cry. Like, you got to be cool. you know, there's all these cool people here. Don't be the fucking mom that's crying. And then it was him. He was that really sobbing.
Oh my God.
I'm like, wow. So it's like those moments where it always, I have to realize, like, Zach was with me when I was pregnant with Ryder, and it's so full circle now. Like, now Ryder's 6, and he's like, you have to realize, like, I used to talk to her when she was in your stomach. And now I'm watching her do something that she loves, and she's so good at it, and he's like, it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a mom and the journey that you've guys been through, that really hit, like, a different, I don't know. And I was going to ask, when you started crying, like, what triggered you to, like, it's just the emotions of, like, you loving him so much? I think, like,
when you think about, like, to me, like, when I think about, like, everything that Zach and I have gone through and, like, who we still are as people, like, as individuals, and that we didn't allow it to
take you out.
Yeah, like, we didn't allow it to, like, ruin who we were. Yeah. And we didn't allow it to, like, ruin happy moments. Like, we are still allowed to be happy, and we're allowed to be happy with each other.
I like that you just said that, yeah.
And that's okay. Like, are we perfect? No. Do we fight? Yes. Do we bicker? Yeah. Do we banter with each other probably all day long? Does he drive me absolutely crazy? Yes. But that's just my person. And I feel like when you...
I'm gonna cry after this.
I don't know. I never thought that we would be, like, where we're at now. Like, from when we were kids until now, I never thought we would be where we're at, and how we're very dependent on each other. We have a high codependency, but I wouldn't change it.
I love that. It inspires. Yeah. It inspires.
That's beautiful.
I feel like it inspires. It's like you're in your journey. It inspires me. Because, like, love wins.
Yeah, I feel like...
And I feel like it's like what you said. Like, I feel like I love hard, but I show my love in a different way. And I think when I was dating, that was what was hard for me, was because there's some mornings where I don't want to be touched. I don't want to talk. I don't feel like putting on this, you know, this front. Like, I don't want to do any of these things. I want to lay here and I want to sulk in whatever the fuck I'm feeling.
And that's,
And when I was dating, like, a lot of guys didn't understand that about me, where, like,
I'm happy you hit that.
I feel like with Zach, I don't have to put on a front. Like, if I'm not feeling it that day, I can
it's okay
just say,
to have a bad day.
I'm not feeling it. And he will say, well, I'm just going to turn on Netflix and I'll sit with you, or, like, whatever it is. Or I'll go downstairs, or, like, go lay in the guest room and I'll lay up here until you feel like you're out of it, or don't do anything all day. You know, it's like finding someone who can also fit into, like, who you are, and not feeling like you had to change yourself for them. Because I dated guys in between Zach and I breaking up, and I always felt like I had to be, like, this, like, person.
You are speaking to me.
So, I don't know.
No, I'm so happy you brought that up, because that is so real, and I think that's where some guys get confused with me. It's because I love hard, and I'm, like, this happy, bubbly person.
Right.
But, like you just said, I'm not always bubbly. I'm not always happy. I have so much shit in my little brain that I hold in all the time. And some days, I don't want to smile.
Yeah.
I don't want to put up with anyone's other bullshit. And I just want to sulk, like you said.
Yeah, I want to sulk.
I want to sulk, feel my feelings, and I want to cry it out, and I don't want to be bubbly with you. Yeah. I don't want to, like...
Don't feel it today.
I don't want to give you my love. So, yes, sometimes I might be stressful. Sometimes it's not going to be this happy Shanan. Right. And I come off as happy Shanan all the time.
But you're allowed to be unhappy Shanan, and that's the thing.
And I think... when I go into relationships, when like it comes to more, like, deeper into the month, deeper into the relationship, they're like, oh shit, like, you're emotional as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm a roller coaster, but that's okay. I feel like you just said,
it's like,
you need to find your person who's gonna say, Let's do it.
Deal with
Let's do it today.
Because not every day is going to be a good day. I have terrible days. It's just finding someone who will be with you for your terrible day that's not going to sit there and be like, but yesterday you were fine. Well, today I'm not.
Those are the wild moments where it's like, what happened? Where did this switch come from? And it's like, don't sit there and act like you don't have days too.
Where you're upset.
But I do appreciate with the guy I'm talking to, he will, take my shit. Yeah. And he'll
kind of ride that wave
with me and understand and be like, bro, I get it because I have my days too.
Yeah.
So I think it's like you said, like it's nice to have somebody understand that life is not always easy.
Yeah.
Go sit down. Go sit down.
I think the biggest thing, or one of the biggest, I'm done after this. My biggest lesson within dating that I did learn was one day I had a conversation with my mom. I'm totally going to butcher the conversation, but this is kind of like the gist of it. She was like, you have dated the richest man in the room, and you've also dated, like, the regular person in the room who has a regular income, and you have had way more fun with the regular one who you can put your income and their mind and your mind and build something together than going out with the richest one in the room where they just passed you a card, gave you a room, and told you to do what you want, but there was no time spent together. Yeah. Like, there was nothing there. And I always think about that conversation because I have. And I remember, like, I dated this guy and he had so much freaking money. And I hated the relationship. Like, I had fun, but when I think about it, I had fun with my friends on his dime. Like, I didn't actually have fun with him. Yeah. So it's like, I'd much rather be with someone that we can build something together than trying to just go for the one who can financially solve every problem. Yeah. Because once they financially do, then it's like, okay, well,
what else do we do?
What else are we doing?
Yeah. So, do I even like you?
I think sometimes we have to realize that it's okay to date somebody and to build with them and to build them up while they build you up. And it doesn't have to always look perfect. So don't let other people's, like, judgment or society put themselves into what you want and how you feel. Because this person might be your person, but just because your friends are like, well, he dresses funny, or he works at McDonald's, or whatever it is, or he has a past, it's like, okay, but this is the future. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't hold all that and then lose out on somebody who's probably down for you. So,
thank you, Shy. That was for me.
That's my advice for the week.
You just gave me the best advice. And you didn't even know it.
Well, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Anybody got advice or WTF this week?
I got a WTF.
A few minutes, boss. Please.
I have a WTF. It happened yesterday. I was going to put it on my Instagram yesterday because
It was that bad?
Yes. And I never talk on my Instagram. Anyways. I was cleaning. Oh, no. We were on our way to hockey practice. We were cleaning. I was trying to get Parker ready. All of a sudden, I see a fucking lizard in my house. It was long as shit. The tail was literally this long. I'm not even exaggerating. The body was probably like this. It was so long. I thought it was a snake. I must have screamed. I was like, hey, Parker. He likes to catch lizards. It was too long for Parker. Parker said, oh, no, Mom. He ran out of the fucking house. Y'all, I didn't know what to do. And I was so annoyed because the house is getting painted. And so I just got my doors painted. So they keep fucking leaving the doors open. I live in fucking Altadena.
Shannon's had all the critters this week. Spiders.
Critters are in my fucking house. I'm like, why the fuck? Why?
She sent me a picture of a spider the other day that was this big.
But why do we keep leaving it open?
I love my new door.
Oh my God.
How'd you get the lizard out? Or is it still there?
So, we had to go to hockey practice. So I'm like scrambling around the house, like trying to get this fucking lizard. It goes under my piano, which is heavy as shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I started like making noise to try to get it out. I couldn't get it out. So like my dad came to the rescue and said, you need to get this lizard out of my house so I don't fall asleep and it's crawling all over me. Like,
yeah, no. That lizard might have been stayed under there with me.
So he got the lizard out, but that's my WTF because what the fuck? Why the fuck was a lizard crawling around? And
it was happy as hell.
It was just,
I'm out.
it was so happy.
That lizard was happy as hell.
I was like, Parker, get this fucking. He said, no, Mom. No, it's too long.
Parker.
Yeah, that was my WTF.
Hey, sorry. Kyle, what do you got?
Man, I hope I'm not Debbie Downer right now. But my WTF is my kid's been asking me some really loaded questions lately about his dad and why we left DC and why his dad doesn't live here and why we can't just go back to DC. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, where do I start?
Yeah.
So that's been it's been like every night recently. And even the night Boz just out of nowhere, he just started crying. And I was like, Boz, what's wrong? I'm trying to console him. And he's like really sobbing, and he's like, I miss my dad. I don't know why I can't see my dad. And so I was like, calmed him down, relaxed him. I was just comforting him. And then I was like, do you want to call your dad and like let him know that you miss him? And he was like, okay, let's call him. And I was like, it's okay to let him know you miss him because he needs to hear it from you. I was like, Daddy he needs to hear it from you, not necessarily just from me. And so he called and he was okay. And then at one point I muted it and I was like, bro, are you going to tell him? You better tell him. Are you going to tell your dad you miss him? And then he was like, no, I'm not. And then like they finished their conversation. And then afterwards I was like, Boz, why didn't you want to tell your dad you missed him? And he was like, I'm scared. And I'm like, scared of what? And he was like, I'm scared to tell him I miss him because he's not here. And I was just like, y'all, like, after I put my kids to sleep, I went in the bathroom, I rolled myself a Fat J, and I literally just, like, cried for, like, an hour in the empty bathtub.
There was no water in it?
I couldn't even turn the faucet on. Like, that's just how, like, it just, like, it hurt me so much because it's like, one, I don't know how to answer these questions. And two, it's like, there's no answers I can give to a 4-year-old that will like make
actually
him
understand.
Yeah. And it's like, that's the thing. What do I say? So I'll be sitting there making shit up and he'll be like, that's not true, Mom. And I'm like, you're right.
I think you just have to be honest with him.
Yeah, I think honesty is the biggest.
What do I say?
Your dad lives in D.C. because that's where his family is.
Yeah.
And that's where his job is.
That's where the conversation is. But then it's like Boz doesn't see Messier work. All he does is see Messier at the gym. So then it's like, why does my dad get to play while you're taking care of me and my brother and working and doing all these things?
Have you had that conversation with Mez?
I've had conversations with him, but he just thinks I am being dramatic or like I'm making things up. And it's also like, excuse me, but why are you in the gym every day, not working or trying to make shit happen for your kids? So it's like, there's just some conversations, like even if I were to have that conversation with him, it doesn't penetrate because I'm dealing with a selfish narcissist who would rather go to the gym than make something happen to be close with his kids or be a parent. So
I think that maybe the next time it happens with Boz, as opposed to like trying to get him to tell Mez, like maybe you like secretly record him on your phone so that you're able to show Mez like this is what it looks like without having Boz kind of tell you in between. Right,
guys, I did that for 3 years.
Well, then maybe you just have to come to the
so now it's like
that he's not
and that is my reality. But it's like it's also how do I have that conversation with my child?
I think it's hard because Mez parents through a tablet and through a phone.
He doesn't even parent through the tablet. It's just
like confusing.
It's so confusing. I'm starting to see now with Zaire because like when they hang up, he doesn't understand, so he cries for 20 minutes. Goggy, where's Goggy? He calls his dad Goggy right now. Goggy. We're working on our D's and our Z's. Oh, okay. Yeah, Boz is it's Goggy and Boggy.
I don't know.
So it's
like
just like
it's doing more damage than good.
It does, but he refuses to see any other viewpoint than his own. So it's hard. So yeah, that makes it harder. And then it's like he says stuff, and it's like,
what the fuck?
what
What the
in
fuck?
the actual fuck?
There's her what the fuck.
What the fuck? So, yeah,
man.
no dating life, disabled baby daddy,
Oh my god.
and no sex. I'm depressed.
We're gonna manifest a healthy dating life.
I don't even need that. I just want to get done with my classes.
Okay, get
that's
done
that's
with
the
the
prayer I
classes.
need. Like, I'm not even, the dating is not my priority
And-
right now. It'd be nice to have someone who I could talk to, but
Best day to
like,
come alive and some wild birthdays.
Come alive!
That's all I'm saying. All right, guys.
with no
Thanks
anxiety.
for tuning in to the Think Loud Crew podcast. We were kind of all over the place today, but the three of us haven't been together in a long time, so I'm sorry. This is what you got.
But I feel like there were some juicy questions that came out of this. Like,
Yeah, I want to go back to the dating one, and if you should pay for my babysitter, can somebody let me know?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Don't forget. What is that noise?
I don't know. Somebody pray for me and my children.
Boz.
I'm about to put Boz on the corner
Don't
and say walk home.
follow us.
Just kidding.
Bye.
Okay. Follow us on the Think Loud Crew on Instagram and on YouTube. And don't forget that you can get our podcast on any podcast platform. My name is Cheyenne, and you can follow me at Shy Not Shy.
My name is R, and you can follow me at RKylin.
And I'm Shannon, and you can follow me at Hair by Shannon C.
And don't forget to tell your crew
Crew
about our crew.
Peace out, y'all.